Hello, and welcome to the official prospectus launch of Ocean Vantage Holdings Berhad. Founded in 2011, the Sarawak-based group is involved in the provision of support services for the upstream and downstream segments of the oil and gas industry. Over the years, Ocean Vantage has made great strides and currently serves a diverse portfolio of global renowned oil and gas clientele from more than 15 countries across 5 regions. Today, Ocean Vantage is set to achieve yet another high point in its corporate history as they are now one step closer to being a listed company on the ACE market of Bursa Securities. Let us all welcome the founder and managing director of Ocean Vantage, Mr. Kenny Ronald Ngalin, to say a few words.
Members of the media and friends, ladies and gentlemen, I am Kenny Ronald Ngalin, the managing director as well as founder of Ocean Vantage. Firstly, thank you for tuning in and joining us on this special occasion to launch Ocean Vantage Prospectus. Special because this is the launch is done live virtually, which we believe is among the first few in the country, and also one where all our friends and families, customers and suppliers, colleagues and associates can witness this event in real time from around the world, transcending the limit of physical boundaries. Indeed, transcending limit is what we strive for at Ocean Vantage. For our humble beginnings, serving as a subcontractor to providing manpower supply and support services, we are now a Petronas licensed integrated oil and gas support service provider. This journey, which began in 2011, has been exciting, yet full of challenges, and definitely adrenaline charged for sure. There have been many ups and downs, tears of joy, disappointment, but through sheer grit and determination, we emerge stronger each time and remain resilient as we continue to chart our growth path forward. This time will not be an exception. We are confident that we are capable to weather through the current unprecedented times and continue to build strength amidst adversity. Our success factor is in part driven by our asset-light business strategy from day one. Because of this, we are nimble and flexible in our decision-making and adaptive to changes in our operating environment. In fact, where people see problems, we see opportunities. We believe that there are many opportunities for outsourced support services providers such as Ocean Vantage, as major oil and gas industry players are increasingly consolidating their operations and workforce. We strive to be the one-stop business partner for all oil and gas support services as well as asset management needs across the upstream and downstream segment. Moving forward, we have already carved out the strategic directions for Ocean Vantage. With the IPO proceeds, we will be able to expand our range of support services in the EPC of engineering, procurement and construction, along with project management segment. Another priority is to strengthen our project management capabilities for the downstream oil and gas segment. These efforts will enhance our overall technical capabilities and competitive advantage to provide top-notch services for customers. Ladies and gentlemen, the best is yet to come. We are excited about our next chapter ahead and look forward to having you on board with us in this journey as we take Ocean Vantage to greater heights. So stay tuned and thank you.
We hope you had an insightful glimpse into Ocean Vantage from Mr. Kenny's address. Now please welcome to your screen the Head of Corporate Finance of M&A Securities, Mr. Gary Ting.
Hi, I'm Gary Ting, the Head of Corporate Finance of M&A Securities. On behalf of M&A Securities, we wish to express our delight to be part of this major milestone for Ocean Vantage Holdings Berhad. When we first met the dynamic founders of Ocean Vantage, we could tell that they are different from the pack in the oil and gas industry. As we got to know them better, we see great potential in the company. They have successfully carved a niche in the market, taking the road less traveled by adopting an asset-light strategy in an industry where it is usually very capital intensive. Now, success is no accident. Through hard work, strong acumen and willpower, Ocean Vantage has made a number of notable achievements in the industry in terms of market reach and business growth. despite being a relatively young company. This was made possible by the strong leadership team who collectively has more than 70 years of experience in the oil and gas industry. Not resting on their laurels, the dynamic Ocean Vantage is now en route to be listed entity very soon, paving the way for a brighter and better future. We are happy to share that the demand for the IPO shares earmarked for the private placement has been encouraging, and I believe the portion that is open for public subscription from today shall be equally well received. We look forward to growing together with the team at Ocean Vantage, and in closing, I would like to take this opportunity to express our deepest appreciation to them for trusting us as the advisor, sponsor, underwriter, and placement agent. Thank you and congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome the distinguished representatives from Ocean Vantage and M&A Securities to do the honors on launching the prospectus. From left, we have Datuk Bill Tan, Managing Director of Corporate Finance of M&A Securities, Encik Nur Azam bin Abdul Jalil, Independent Non-Executive Chairman of Ocean Vantage, Mr. Kenny Ronald Ngalin, Managing Director of Ocean Vantage, Mr. Martin Philip King Ik Piao, Executive Director of Ocean Vantage, as well as Mr. Stephen Yao Ka Tak, Executive Director of Ocean Vantage. Our VVIPs, please place your hands on the screen to officiate the breakthrough launch on the count of 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, the prospectus of Ocean Vantage Holdings Berhad is officially launched. Now, we are heading to the question and answer session with the management team of Ocean Vantage, as well as the representative from M&A Securities. We have received quite several similar questions from the viewers and media, hence we will group them together and paraphrase for brevity. From left, we have with us Mr. Gary Ting, Head of Corporate Finance of M&A Securities, Datuk Bill Tan, Managing Director of Corporate Finance of M&A Securities, Mr. Kenny Ronald Ngalin, Managing Director of Ocean Vantage, Mr. Stephen Yao Ka Tak, Executive Director of Ocean Vantage, Mr. Martin Philip King Ik Piao, Executive Director of Ocean Vantage, as well as Mr. Michael Chang Voon Lung, Chief Financial Officer of Ocean Vantage. Hi Kenny, congratulations on your prospectus launch. Now the first question we have from our viewers is, are you concerned with the timing of your launch and upcoming listing, considering we are in the middle of a pandemic coupled with volatile oil prices and economic downturn?
That's a good question. For us, we go for listing as we needed the funding from the equity capital market to grow to the next level. We are here for the long term. As such, we are not too bothered with a timing issue. After all, timing is beyond our control. The entire listing process easily takes 1.5 to 2 years from kick-off to completion, and there's no way to foresee how the market would be when it's time to list. Therefore, it's better for us to focus on things that are within our control. These include strategic directions, our business model, and our assets, which are our people.
Perhaps then, can you share with us more on your business model? After all, the next question from the viewers is, how does the oil price fluctuation impact your operations? Just to put things in perspective for our viewers, crude Brent oil fell from a high of USD 66 per barrel in January 2020 to USD 10 per barrel in April, before rebounding to USD 40 in June.
Let me first put things in perspective. Between myself and my two fellow executive directors, Martin Philip King and Stephen Yao, we each have close to 20 years of professional experience in the oil and gas industry. We have witnessed the crude oil Brent price fell to a low of $10 per barrel in 1998 and then hit a historical high of $140 per barrel in 2008. From Ocean Vantage's perspective, since the establishment in 2011, we have operated in an environment where oil price fluctuated between the low of $10 per barrel, which is just happened in April, as you mentioned, and high of $120 per barrel in 2012. The group and its management have been through the up and down cycle of the oil price. So our shareholders can be rest assured that we have the necessary experience to manage the situation regardless of the cycle. Now, onto our business model. Most people would associate oil and gas business with capital intensive. Just take a look at the balance sheet of some of the listed companies and oil and gas players, as you will see the huge asset base. For us, we have deliberately chosen the road less traveled. If you analyze our balance sheet, you will see that we are asset light. This is a strategy that we have adopted from early on. We want to be agile and flexible when things turn and not bogged down by heavy assets and the associated depreciation costs and loan repayments. We focus on providing the essential support services to the oil majors, such as EPC and project management jobs. EPC stands for Engineering, Procurement and Construction. We provide supply of manpower, materials, tools and equipment, as well as drilling rig charter services to our partner Noble Corporation. These services do not need heavy assets. Apart from making us agile and flexible, the best part is that it's scalable. For example, when the demand for manpower for our clients increases, we have access to oil and gas talent through our in-house database. In conclusion, when oil price is high, we can scale down our operations in a swift manner to meet the demand, and on the flip side, when oil price is low, our asset-light balance sheet means we are not bogged down with high expenses.
Your revenue and net profit are relatively small by comparison to other listed oil and gas companies in Malaysia. How do you market your company to the investment community who are used to evaluating much larger oil and gas companies?
Yes, we are small in size comparison to other listed oil and gas entities in the capital market. But our value proposition to investors is our asset-light strategy, when we believe make us stand out from the competitions and give us a competitive advantage. Ocean Vantage offers investors a different take when it comes to the oil and gas company. During oil price downturns, a lot of large oil and gas companies are also dropped down by the high expenses. In fact, it is common that many will record loss during this time. For us, when we may be small, our profitability is nevertheless consistent with double-digit profit margin. This is because we focus on service and soft assets. We believe at the end of the day, investors are looking for consistent in performance, growth, and strong leadership, and we are confident we fix the bill.
We are living in unprecedented times. How are your operations affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent movement control order?
Well, fortunately, the operation of our group are deemed to fall under essential services and therefore permitted to continue operation during this period. As such, thus far we have not been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and the MCO. Although our group is considered essential services provider, we still adopted strict standard operating procedures aimed at containing COVID-19 and minimizing its risk to our operations while maintaining business continuity. We have also established an emergency response protocol committee, which comprises mainly of key management personnel to oversee the adherence of infection control measures based on the guidelines and standard operating procedures issued by MITI. In short, we are living in the new normal, but we will adjust and we will thrive.
Can you elaborate on your expansion plans?
For our expansion plans, we intend to broaden our range of support services in EPC and project management segment to capture opportunities in the oil and gas industry and further strengthen our project management capabilities for the downstream oil and gas segment. For broadening of services, these include offering of underwater diving services as well as advanced NDT and inspection services. NDT stands for non-destructive testing. We will develop these capabilities in-house. There are new equipment to purchase and licensing involved as well. Currently, we have limited exposure to downstream oil and gas activities. We'll change that by building strong teams in business development and project management. We'll purchase new equipment and tools as well to enhance our capabilities in this segment.
Our viewers would like to know, who are your competitors?
There are a number of support services providers in the oil and gas industry. However, we believe we don't really have a direct competitor per se. What we meant is that we are not aware of company in Malaysia that has similar breadth and depth of services as compared to ours. There may be companies providing supply of manpower, and then there are companies providing EPC and project management services, while others focus on supply of tools and equipment. We have built the group with the goal to be a one-stop approach for our clients. With the IPO proceeds, we certainly can accelerate the pace to reach our goal.
Next question is for Chief Financial Officer Michael Chang. Michael, can you share with us some details of your IPO? How much capital is Ocean Vantage raising and what are the utilization of the proceeds?
From the public issues, we intend to raise about 21.4 million. As for the utilization of the proceeds, 3.1 million or 15% is allocating for broadening our support services. RM 8.5 million or 40% is used for capex for downstream oil and gas segments. RM 6.1 million or 31% is used for working capital, and the balance of 3 million is used for listing expenses. The bulk of the proceeds are meant for grow the business of the group.
Ocean Vantage's profit after tax margin from financial year 2016 to 2019 ranged between 12% and 17%. In particular, the profit margin decreased from 17% in FY 2018 to 12% in FY 2019. Perhaps you could explain what happened.
In FY 2019, we provided more competitive pricing to secure additional contracts from our new customers. Additionally, we also incurred higher expenses in the supply of manpower segment, which included more initial expenses for training for new crews. Noted that we have grew our revenue by 91% in FY 2019 to 58.3 million from 30.5 million in FY 2018. We are constantly monitoring and reviewing our cost structures to ensure our profit margins are optimized as best possible.
One more question for you, Martin. Does Ocean Vantage have a dividend policy?
We are still a relatively small company, but we are definitely grow fast. The leadership has also carved out the strategic directions forward for the group. As a growth company, the profit is being pumped back into the group for the greater return in the future. As such, we currently do not have a dividend policy. Having said that, it is our intention to pay the dividend to our shareholder in the future. As such, dividend is, however, subjected to the factors such as our financial performance, capital expenditure requirements, and cash flow, amongst others.
Dato' Bill, what is the basis of arriving at the IPO price of 26 cents?
Well, the IPO price of 26 cents was determined after having considered several factors, such as historical growth rate and the PE multiple of 15.5 times based on Ocean Vantage financial year 2019 numbers, which is comparable to the industry PE multiple.
Gary, can you share with our viewers the listing scheme of Ocean Vantage?
Well, Ocean Vantage IPO comprises public issue of 20.6 million shares to the Malaysian public, 4.1 million shares to the eligible directors, employees and persons who have contributed to the success of the group, and 57.5 million shares by way of private placement to selected investors. And of course, there will be an offer for sale of 41.1 million shares by way of private placement to selected investors.
I hope we have addressed most of your questions and concerns. Thank you for taking valuable time from your busy schedule to join us in celebrating the launch of our prospectus today. Stay safe, stay healthy.
This brings us to the end of Ocean Vantage's digital prospectus launch today. Thank you.